What is up guys, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're covering r/IDONTWorkHereLady. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe that notification bell. And let's get straight into today's stories. Much love guys. Our first story is from Dr. Chaos 09. I'm sleeping, get the blood yourself. Second time poster, long time lurker, on mobile. Back when I was in mid school last year, we had to do a rotary internship through every department for a month. Each graduating class had 280 to 300 folks. We were divided into groups of about 40 and given a letter for each group, and the schedule for the year as to how each letter group would rotate through each department. The daily schedule was up to us to make and submit on the first day in the department. Because they only needed 2 to 5 interns per day per unit, we occasionally would have the day off. A department would be split into several units. For example, we had 3 medicine wards and each ward had 4 units, so for 12 units they needed at least 3 per for a total of 36, and so about 4 people would have the day off. So it was the first day of medicine, ward 6, unit 5. I was lucky enough to get the day off. My next posting next month was in orthopedics, and they would operate a major part of our trauma centre, or ER. It is known for having all of us every day, long hours and tough work. There was another student with the same name as me in orthopedics, but he decided not to show up. I'm at my place snoozing away when I get a call from a resident demanding why I'm not on my job, and that there was a bus accident and their triage area is full of emergencies that they need every abled body. I tell him I'm sleeping because it's my day off, and the schedule was approved by the head of the department, so I'm not coming in to take samples or stitch someone up. He yells at me and says you're getting marked 10 days absent for your absence today and attitude in the trauma centre. I then tell him, I don't work there sir. I'm posted in medicine W6U5 and I have orthopedics next month. He then asks, you're HS right? No, I'm HG. Then he just hung up. Edit, I later found out the resident had called me and asked the interns working for him, do you know H, where is he? To which someone knows me said, yeah I know H, and gave the resident my number. Last names are important. Those trauma centres, they gotta be stressful places to work, especially if you're like you said, there's a bus accident, there's loads of people hurt. That's got to be stressful to deal with that amount of people, loads of different injuries, how you got to deal with them. There must be so much thinking on your feet and so stressful if you haven't got the right amount of people to deal with it. But yeah, it's not like a awful story. The guy, there's no malice either way here, but yeah, you can sort of understand where hospitals come from when they're under stress, you know. How would you have dealt with that story? Would you have totally understood the resident when he phoned you up and berating you on the phone, or would you have a go at him? Let me know in the comments below. Our next story is from Stitched Thoughts. I don't work here, why not do this again? Now, I'm pretty much a fixture in the local grocery store. Almost every day I'm in there because I like to cook, but I don't always remember to get all the ingredients and have to go back. I'm in the grocery store so much I know most of the staff by name. A couple of my neighbours even work there. But anyway, I was walking around the aisles picking up the beef broth, vegetables and whatnot when I saw a lady wandering the aisle aimlessly, so I thought I would be considerate and ask her if I could help her. The elderly lady was looking for baking goods. I know the store like the back of my hand and know where it is. As we walked to the baking aisle, we struck up a conversation. The sweet elderly lady asked me if I'd help her with her shopping because she has never been in this store before. I said sure, why not? I was in no big hurry. I mean, I live in apartments right behind the store. I mean actually behind the store. I can stand on my patio and take off one shoe and actually hit the back of it. We wound up doing all of her shopping together. She began to tell me about her kids and grandkids and how she would soon be a great grandmother. She's a very pleasant woman. I actually learned a few things she told me that she had seen in her lifetime. We walked the aisles taking the items on her list and throwing them in the shopping cart, and she would check the items off. Finally, about half an hour later, we proceeded to check out. I told her I'd be right back because I almost forgot what I had gone in there for. As I returned to the register, the elderly lady was telling the manager what a nice employee I was and didn't want me to get in trouble for taking up my time. Dean, the manager, smiled and told her that I don't work there. The elderly lady looked at me puzzled and apologised for taking up so much of my personal time. I told her I was in no rush and that I live in the apartments nearby. It turns out she just moved several apartments away across the apartment complex. We walked home to our apartments. She smiled and asked me why I helped her if I didn't work there. I told her that my parents raised me to help others without reward. I gave her the groceries. I told her that if she needed help or wanted to go shopping, let me know. The elderly woman said she did her shopping every Monday and if I wouldn't mind going in company. I told her it was very kind of her to try and keep me from getting fired even though I don't work there. So now I have a shopping buddy and someone to talk with and share coupons. I know this doesn't have a screaming entitled Karen or brat, but I just wanted to share this I don't work here story, so thanks for reading. Have a great day. I love a wholesome story. I think it breaks up the Karens. You know, you get too much Karens in your life, it just brings you down after a video. So it's nice to sprinkle in a little wholesomeness near here and there, you know what I mean? And I think it's important to look after elderly in your community. I'm very much the same. If I see elderly struggling in a shop, I will ask them if they need help, and I think it's very important to do. Not all elderly, because some of them are bastards, but but you know what I'm talking about. Our next story is from HCA 2001. Karen demands deaf man help her, gets a nice helping of humble pie. This happened maybe an hour or so ago to my friend Topher, and he gave me permission to post it here because we both found it so funny. Topher, who is hearing, is fluent in ASL thanks to his job and his degree. Practicing because he likes people there, he volunteers at a local deaf community centre 3 times a week. Today was a regular volunteering day, and he was asked to check to see if the local Wally World had party supplies for a surprise birthday party they're planning for another volunteer. Topher agreed, and off to the local Wally World he went. As he didn't have anything clean to wear, he was wearing a blue polo shirt and a nice pair of khakis, which happened to be the same colour uniform most of the workers at Wally World wear. Topher was heading to the party supply section when he heard the classic war call of the wild Karen. A cleared throat. Topher turned around and saw a classic Karen. Short Captain Marvel haircut, leopard print leggings, a too tight black shirt, and a face that looked like she had smelled a fresh turd. Because he had spent all day using ASL, Topher was on what he likes to call sign language brain, where he has sign on reflex. He signed, "Do you sign to her?" Upon seeing him sign, she grimaced before shouting in a slow voice, "I need help, do you understand?" Topher was about ready to tell her he could hear her and to screw off, but he decided to have a little fun at her expense. He held up his hand to ask her to wait, took out his smartphone, put it to notepad and typed, "Type here what you need and I'll help you find it." This humble response would make any normal person realise their bad manners and apologise profusely. But then again, I think everyone who has read / experienced an I Don't Work Here Lady story, Karens lack this ability. So for the next 20 minutes, Karen ordered Topher around. She had him grabbing stuff, only to put it away when it was squashed / bent / dinged, etc. Going to various aisles to get various things. Wait outside for her at the changing room, the works. Topher was thinking about the best way to let the cat out of the bag, when Karen got a phone call from her friend Wendy. Topher turned his back, so as he could hide that he could hear. Karen said, "Hey Wendy, yeah, I'm just fine, just a deaf kid helping me out." "Yeah, they hire deaf people here. Can you believe it? No wonder the service has gone to the crapper. They should stick with their own kind if talking is going to be a problem." Topher was pissed at this point. Because he's worked with the deaf community for so long, he gets really angry when he hears them getting treated badly. But calmer sense prevailed, and he prepared his "shut up Hannibal" speech. Finally, after 20 minutes, Karen announced that she was done and ready to check out. Topher walked to the register that just opened and turned to her. "Please tell your friend Wendy that I said hello." The look on Karen's face when she realised what had happened was priceless. I kinda wish she gave her the big speech though. I think she deserved that, because Karen isn't going to learn from like a subtle bit of karma. She'll walk out that store and forget that happened, you know. She needs a good berating, a good speech, a good bringing down in front of people. Oh, how would you have dealt with that story? Do you think that was enough, or would you have given a big speech? Let me know in the comments below. And to make a wholesome sandwich of this video, we've got a positive one from the same writer, HCA 2001, including Topher. It's more of a wholesome story, so let's get involved. How do you sign leads to friendship? Due to the positive response to a previous post, my friend Topher told me about a story how he met the leader of the local deaf community centre, Joanne. Given how nasty some of the Karens on this subreddit can be, I think we can use some heartwarming. A few years ago, back when Topher, who is hearing, was in the first year of learning ASL, he stopped at a local big box mart to get things to make dinner. While he was in the frozen food section, a well-dressed woman flagged him down. He headed over out of habit. He worked in retail for years, and some habits never leave, and asked if she needed something. The woman pulled out her phone and began typing something. Topher decided to practice and see if he could help her out and signed, "Do you sign?" She lit up like a Christmas tree and asked him if he knew where the dairy section was. He couldn't remember how to sign, 3 aisles to the right, and gestured her to follow him. As they were walking, he apologised and explained that he was still learning sign language and didn't want to resort to entirely finger spelling, which is mentally and physically exhausting. She understood and complimented him on his ASL. They continued their rounds and got to know each other through signing, finger spelling and their smartphones. Her name was Joanne. She had recently accepted a position at the local deaf community centre and had gotten into town maybe an hour or two ago. She then asked him if he was interested in volunteering there, and that would be a great way to practice his ASL. Topher said that he was interested and agreed. When they both got into an aisle, Joanne saw the manager and asked Topher to flag him down while she typed something on her phone. Topher did so, a little confused. The manager made his way over, and when he got there, Joanne showed him her phone. On it she had typed, "Topher is a phenomenal employee and helped me find everything I needed. Please make sure he gets a raise." The manager was a bit confused, and Topher realised what had happened. Interpreting for both Joanne and the manager, he said, "I actually don't work here, I just saw you needed help." After having a good laugh about the confusion, they went on their separate ways, and Topher started volunteering at the Deaf Community Centre the next week. He and Joanne are now very good friends. A nice wholesome story to end on. I think it's a good way to end the story. I know we end sometimes on a really shitty ending that brings us down, but this is a nice way. And what a nice chap Topher is, you know? Imagine how difficult it can be if you're like deaf and everyone around you can't do sign language. It must be so tough sometimes. And then to see someone like Topher who comes out of nowhere and starts doing sign language, it must be just like a light bulb moment, a real nice moment to be able to communicate with someone who you normally can't, like in a supermarket or something like that. It must be amazing, an amazing feeling. What do you guys make of that story? Do you have any wholesome stories to share? You know where to put them in those comments below. It'd be great to see them. As I said, I do read 100% of comments that go on this channel. So yeah, make it happen. If you enjoy these stories, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and that notification bell. It really does mean the world to me and this channel and our community. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Much love, guys. Take care now.